So yes, I also something else this week. I watched Killers of the Flower Moon. Have you heard of this movie?
I heard, God, who was it? Who the
Scorsese.
fuck was it? There was some movie channel or fucking company that like replied to a photo of Robert De Niro in that movie as he had to do it to him. Who the who the fuck was that? I can't remember.
Oh God, that's fucking. That is it's. That is fucked.
It
That
was
is
Paramount.
fucked.
It was the Paramount Twitter
Oh
account.
no! No! Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
super for real. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, look. Um, Killers of the Flower Moon, Scorsese, 3.5 hours. It's a biggin. Yeah, De Niro and Leo and a number of others that are doing it. It is a fucking good movie. It is obviously like again, Scorsese's doing what he does, but in particular, I'm thinking of how he is. I think he said in the interview, maybe it was like after The Irishman, or I forget where, maybe, but I feel like he talked somewhere about how, um, like when you're up there in years and you've only got a few movies left in you, you got to pick what you're gonna do
Hmm.
very carefully. You got to pick and choose. If you have a lot of stories you want to tell, which are the ones that matter. Um, and when you see this, you walk out of there going like, yeah, actually, I get why this is one of the stories that needed to be told. This is
Hey, before we go any further, I am well aware that Scorsese makes good movies, but is it as good as the most recent Marvel film?
well, I haven't seen the Marvels, so I don't know, but I'm hearing good things about it. So we'll have to see how they stack up to each other. We'll have to see. It's hard to say right now. Jury's out. I will say this: in terms of just like real this, and this is like the wheelhouse that I very 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 much love. Real shit that happened that you've never fucking heard about. Real insane fucked up shit that went down that you might have kind of heard about, but you don't fully know the deal. This is way up there on the list of like, wait, what? What went down in the 1920s? Um, like just like you want to talk about like continuing the theme of discussing genocide, right? Yeah, this is
You know
just
what? You're right. When I sit here and I said I would like to continue discussing the theme of genocide,
mm-hmm.
that is a phrase that exits my mouth.
Every other day we're discovering something new and harrowing about uh, Native American history here up in Canada, especially. And there's a lot of that shit that is down in the States that like we've heard about, but this story I've never fucking heard about. And I'll I'm not going to spoil, I suppose, but it's a history. So at the same time, like fucking what? But it's just like it's the story of the Osage tribe of natives in the 1920s were basically a there was a brief period in time where they were, I think, historically the richest people in America
Hmm.
because there was oil on their land. And
Damn it.
yeah,
We somehow we let them
shit,
keep 1% and somehow that
fuck,
1% had a bunch of oil on it?
son of a
This is
bitch.
bullshit.
I thought we were just giving them some fields. Turns out there was oil under the
Damn it.
ground.
How will we
Well,
rectify this situation?
perhaps with a long straw to drink up a milkshake. Drainage, boy, drainage. No. Um, It's in fact yeah, this insane moment in history that I've never fucking heard of, where yeah, they became the richest. They became uh like the owners of this insanely large, I think like close to 700-acre a plot of what at the time was going to be the thing that defined like literally all countries, borders, and international relations for the next 100 years, give or take.
Oops.
So what happens then? Well, you've got 1920s America in the middle of doing what it does, and natives being treated like garbage. But when you have something like that of extreme value and interest, the way America then interacts with you is predictable but fucking just brutal, insane.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, we obviously want to get in there, but legally there's only so much we can do. But what if we just push past that point, right? What if we do things like say, all right, you guys are super rich and that's cool, and you are you're able to live up that wealth to a degree, but yeah, you can't really just spend it the way you want to. So how about we put in place a system where you got to go talk to one of us if you want to spend your money, and we have to approve its usage because you're incompetent, you can't actually make your decisions. In fact, you have to declare that you're incompetent, and then whatever you want to spend your money on, we're going to be the ones to decide how you spend that money. And then in the more like on a system level, you've got that top side, and then on the ground level, you've got people just rolling in off the train, being like, how do I get a piece of this pie, right? And the thing that they had instituted was basically with the discovery of this oil, they then this is not covered in the movie per se, but it's just the history of what happened prior to the movie starting. There was a member of the tribe that was that set up a system so that if you're a full-blooded member of the tribe, you get dividends on all the money, the oil, and any mineral rights underneath the ground are valued to for simply being there. So if you're a member, you're covered, you're taken care of. That's all there is to it. And you can sell the land to people, but the anything under the ground, the mineral and oil rights are only to be held by members, unless you marry in or transfer the rights via other.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop you for a second. What the fuck is the movie about? What the fuck is the movie actually about? What is the back of the box synopsis of the movie?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm well aware of the historical significance and time period you're describing, but what the fuck is the movie about?
Leonardo DiCaprio moves into Osage territory and is basically brought in by Robert De Niro to is brought in by Robert De Niro, and he's amongst the group of white dudes that are coming in, trying to marry into this oil money, and the Osage tribe is here, and while they have access to this money, they are being wiped out through a series of murders that occur that go from like at first it's like suspicious, and then all the way through to just brazen out and out murder. And a bunch of these things happened in the 1920s that were just not investigated, in some cases just hand waved, ruled a suicide, whatever. And essentially a slow extermination of the tribe was occurring, and no one was doing anything about it.
So Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro are the evil white mans and trying to steal those natives as oils.
And it goes as far as like literally like marrying into the family and showing you the degree to which like that
stealing
nefariousness
it with their penises.
can like took place to the level that it
Okay.
took place at was one that
Is
was
that
like
theft by penis?
yeah, it is, but I mean it doesn't have to stay that loose. You know, there's more than enough examples of theft by theft to go off of that was happening at the time. Yeah, sorry, I just tried to I was trying to just explain the setting and context because
Yeah,
I know.
I understand, but I was like getting so much big picture that I couldn't see the little picture.
Okay. I also am not sure what level of specificity to get into. I don't know how much you want to know before you go sit down
Well,
to
like
watch it.
Pluto, I
So,
would be like, Pluto
yeah.
is about a series of robot-based serial murderers in the Astro Boy universe.
Okay. All right. Um. Yeah. I also went in pretty cold. Like I think I saw like the first trailer and it was just like a tone trailer, so I didn't even know what it all was it was about. And yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of it. It's incredible. It's very, 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 very fucking good. And
Did you see it in the
it's
theater?
yes, I did.
It's 3.5 hours long, right?
It is. It
Did
is.
you bring a piss bottle?
I did not.
I feel like we've entered into a universe in which like filmmakers like movies used to have fucking intermissions and they only used to be 2 hours long. Sitting down for 3.5, Scorsese, I mean, he can hold it all day because his bladder is old, but like that's ridiculous.
Um, I've done 3.5. I've done 4.5 for.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Yeah, no. There is an actual in movie kind of like intermission moment, so to speak. You know, it's kind of interesting. Like there's a scene where they kind of it's literally introduced as the intermission, so to speak, and it's like a here we're gonna catch you up to a couple things that are like part of the history of what happened here that we're not going to be showing you on film. You could get up and run to the bathroom, I suppose, here, but the details do matter. So, how much of an intermission is it really, even though they call it that, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind a long movie. I don't know what to tell you. But I know that I can hold it. I was all right. I wasn't drinking a big gulp when I went to go see it.
I think the main thing for me is like the combination of the setting that is most willing to offer you a big gulp combined with hold it for the longest period you reasonably would have to is so stupid.
I don't mind long movies. I don't know what to say though. Like I get that it's falling out of favor. I get that it's hard if you've got to make it to the bathroom and you can't pause it and shit. Like I get a lot of that. I understand all of that. I also just don't mind a full like meditation on a subject matter.
Like listen,
that if
I also like
it,
long movies and I'll binge TV shows, but I don't like the feeling of having to watch something with my bladder full of piss.
Fair enough.
I don't get off on it.
Well, all I'd say is, I guess, like for me, I'll check the running time of a movie in advance, and like if it feels like it's beyond that threshold, maybe watch it at home, or consider like, yeah, that might be a problem if you go to the theater, But generally, for me, like I don't mind it, so I'm down to just go in for the full meditation on stuff. Particularly if it's again, if it's a subject matter that like that needs it, then fucking by all means do it. And in this case, I think it does. I think the 3.5.
No, I don't have a problem with the movie being any particular length, but it's, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like the idea of having to look up on a website, when are the good times to go piss?
Oh no, that sucks. I would say, but I'd say like, yeah, check the running time, and then I guess plan accordingly for like if you even want to bother catching it in a theater situation versus like catching it on stream. Yeah, but that aside, it's fucking wild, and again, it's kind of incredible that this type of thing happened, and no one really knew anything about it. So, you know, I guess he decided, okay, like it's based on a book, and he said like, all right, like let's spend as much time and money and everything as we need, like bringing this story to light. And yeah, they do a pretty fucking incredible job of that. It's just kind of wild to look at like this world in the 20s where like a bunch of like because it's taking place on like reservation land, in like Oklahoma, and you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing like all these outsiders kind of coming in and are being like subservient almost in like, oh, whatever you guys need, Osage tribe will do, and they're just kind of setting up shop around while the wolves close in,
Mm-hmm.
and like to the point where you're seeing like white people learning and speaking the language and stuff, and it's just like yeah, it's nuts. It's just a nuts story that actually fucking happened. So go see it. Very good.